Oh. Let's try this
Let's
again.
try it again.
All right. 3, 2, 1. What's up, everyone? Thank you so much for joining me on another episode of Woke as Fuck. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties, but hopefully this works out this time. I just want to introduce you all to my good friend, Navee Mendoza, calling in from Texas. She's a wonderful woman and a bright light in the spiritual community. Navee, you there?
Yes, sir, I am.
Oh my gosh. Okay, good. Woo. I was scared for a second. The pause. So I just noticed when I said Texas, and I kind of paused after I said Texas because I realized I don't quite remember where you live in Texas. Where do you live again?
So I'm in Dallas.
Okay.
Dallas, Texas. Yeah.
That's an easy one. Well, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to our listeners and tell them maybe a little bit about yourself and your mission and your purpose, or whatever.
Yeah, sure. So first of all, thank you for having me on here. I'm totally honored and I'm really excited to be on here with you. So yeah, I'm from Dallas, Texas, born and raised out here. And honestly, this past year I created Spiritual Daily, and that's kind of my mission work here. I was a little lost, I guess you could say, before that. I knew I wanted to do stuff in the spiritual community. I just wasn't exactly sure 100% what, because there's so many, there's so many options, and and I think that comes with time. That's how you figure out, with trying different things and different experiences, what really resonates with you and what you're supposed to, or what you're meant to pursue in this life. And so I want to say last December, or about November-ish, I started having this idea come in my head, and I didn't listen to it really at first because it seemed kind of out there, and I was like, what? I mean, it's a cool idea. I just don't know if it would work. And I mean, the whole human experience type thing, going through those challenges and stuff. But so yeah, I created Spiritual Daily, and so it's basically a weekly blog where writers from all walks of life. We have healers, we have doctors, we have psychologists on there. And then we have just your day-to-day mom that's on there, and they all go on here and they write about different topics that are given on a weekly basis. And people can go on there and read through their experience. And the whole idea behind it is so that way people can go on there from all different walks of life, like I said, and read and kind of resonate and understand from a perspective that they can understand, because I feel like, I know we talked about this earlier, but a lot of the spiritual community, I feel like sometimes has a lot of fluff around it. So it's kind of hard to, really, if you haven't been, if you don't know what's going on in the spiritual world or in the spiritual community, or you don't know the lingo, then a lot of times you're not going to know what people are talking about. So
Totally.
That was just kind of the idea behind Spiritual Daily. And we have a Facebook page, and that kind of brings people their daily dose of spirituality with just different information and just inspirational quotes and different stuff like that. So yeah, that's my mission work as of right now. I don't know what it's going to turn into, but it's all part of the journey. So
Yeah, beautiful. I love that. And I love how you were kind of, I feel like a lot of people listening have probably been there where they had an idea and they didn't work on it until a little bit later. And then, it kind of exploded. I mean, I don't remember how long we've been friends on Facebook, but it has to be at least 5 years. And just seeing your growth and seeing your page go from like a couple of people to like upwards to 10,000 followers, that's amazing. So it just goes to show what happens when, you're following your instincts and your intuition and actually taking that action to make it happen. And I think it's just so beautiful that you are able to, bring together all these people from all walks of life, like you said, and, have them provide a grounded perspective to the spiritual experience. I think that's so important and so powerful because, like we talked about before, having people come into this whole spiritual world, from wherever they're coming from, and like they really need some like legitimate direction. It's easy to get lost and like get into like escapism and hating the government and like wanting to quit your job and like live off the grid. And like I think it's really cool that your platform shows, you can be a life coach, you can be a healer, you can just be a regular, 9-to-5 average Joe or a working mom, and you can incorporate that spirituality into your life to make your life better. That's just so cool.
Yeah, thank you for that. I'm totally receiving that. And yeah, a lot of it at first was just learning to have faith in in those ideas, because it's a learned, it's something that you have to teach yourself over time. And at first it was a little bit of fear, what if I fail, what if it doesn't work out? But ultimately where it stemmed from was just from this love of wanting to help people, because I went through previous to Spiritual Daily, I went through some stuff, and my spiritual practices and the things that I was doing on a day-to-day basis and reading on a day-to-day basis is really what helped pull me out of that challenge that I was currently going through. And so stepping into that and really trusting that the messages that I was receiving would be actually turn into something. It was a journey. It was definitely a journey. And for anyone listening right now, if you have an idea, it doesn't matter what it is. It could be for cooking, or starting a blog. It could be for starting a YouTube channel. Like whatever it is, I definitely recommend you listen to that intuition, listen to that nudge, because that's the universe pushing you to your soul purpose. That's the universe calling you. And listening to that is going to take you on a journey that you literally won't even be able to imagine. It's going to be so amazing and so full of growth. But yeah, it's definitely something that it's turning into way more than I ever thought it would, with the people that are wanting to step in and help others. And ultimately, that's what it's all about. It's just about helping others grow in their own way, and bringing people together as a community to grow and I guess you could say ascend. But it's all it's all out of love.
Yeah, beautiful. I love that. And I just want to speak on, like, it's so wonderful and it's music to my ears to feel you to stepping into your power and sharing your testimony and really finding out what worked for you. Like you said, getting that daily dose of spirituality, immersing yourself in your reading and your application even of what you're reading. It's so easy to get stuck in a perpetual learning mode. And it really feels like you taken what you've learned and it's like soaked into your subconscious almost. And it's allowing you to step into this new version of yourself. And yeah, so without further ado, I'd like to kind of talk about that. And that's actually a perfect segue, stepping into your light and stepping into your power and some of the growing pains that can come along with that. We talked on the phone about a week ago, and you were expressing some of your challenges that you were having. And that's part of the reason why I invited you on here today. But would you share with us, before I continue, thank you so much for being vulnerable and being willing to be on here. Would you be willing to share like some of the challenges that you feel like you're facing right now, and so I can help support you today?
Of course. Yeah, totally. So one of the biggest challenges I'm facing right now is kind of, it's the fear of being seen almost, like, because every day that this is just from my personal experience, every day that you go and you read this information and you apply and we're human, so we're not perfect, but it almost feels sometimes like, who am I to to bring all this knowledge and all this information to all these people. Who do I think I am? Who do I think I am to be able to lead these people? And that's ultimately, I think it comes down to just, like a worthiness thing, believing that you're worthy, believing that you're able to do great things in other people's lives by, through love. And that's definitely something that I'm learning right now. I would have to say it's one of my biggest challenges, because the love for people is there. That was, what this whole thing was birthed from. But it's almost like, learning to really embody that love for yourself as well. That's also something that has to be learned. And I think that anyone can go out there and create change and create beautiful things in their life. And so that's that. And it's weird because you would think that by now that would be gone, but but it's still there. So that's definitely, and I don't know if it's ever, I can't tell the future. I don't know if it's ever going to dissipate completely, because we're human. It's part of our journey to feel emotion and to learn to overcome. And, once you overcome that, then something else pops up. But that's all part of the journey. And right now that's definitely something that, I would say that that's actually my biggest challenge right now. Like if you go on, thespiritualdaily.com, and my weekly blog is at the bottom. And even my picture has like a camera, like in front of my face. Like I noticed that like the other day. I was like, oh wow, I should probably change that. But it all comes down to, like I said, it's part of the journey. But yeah, that's definitely my biggest challenge right now.
Beautiful. I love how well you articulated that. And I, once again, just want to honor you for being vulnerable and willing to share that. So many people I've talked to, and even people that I think are more successful than me, all have this certain level of like fear of stepping into that next level. And every time, it's time to up level, whether they're, increasing their prices or going on stage for the first time or leading their first workshop or getting their first client, there seems to be this theme of, like you said, who am I to be providing this service? Who do I think I am? And it's like, it's funny how being a leader, you can have these two polarities living within you. There's a part of you, like you said, wanting to tap in that love and having that passion for finding that love in other people, and really wanting to settle into that worthiness and self-love. And you even said it perfectly, like anyone can create change. And you said you think it would be gone, and it's like, you're not the only one going through this, right? So I think it's amazing that you have that clarity already. And what I would like to support you in today is getting in touch with that part of yourself that is afraid, that is nervous, and stepping into the light is the scariest shit that could even be imaginably possible, because the reality of the situation, and I like to talk to people about just the reality is, we live in the earth realm, okay, and we have this experience of these super spiritual, like awesome, amazing people that are like love and light, and then there's also these people that are assholes, and they're going to try to dim your shine. And there are people out there that it's what I'm trying to get at is there's a part of you that wants to protect yourself, but we can't discount that part of ourselves because it actually has a little bit of validity. It's possible someone can make fun of you. It is possible, for someone to try to discredit you. These are all possibilities, or rather I would say, and you have that courage to face those feelings, and you have that courage to show up online in front of 10,000 people anyway. And that's what I want to help you cultivate. And that's what I want to help support you with today, is getting in touch with that part of yourself. So you feel you're ready?
Yes. I'm nervous, but yes.
Thank you so much for being honest about that. All right. So go ahead and close your eyes and take a couple deep breaths.
Okay.
And like I said before, there is a part of yourself that's been doing this job faithfully for you for a number of years. So I'd like you to take a moment to look within yourself and ask this part of yourself if it would be willing to communicate with you in your consciousness right now. And you can give it a voice. You can, if you hear maybe a yes or a no, please voice that.
Yeah.
Okay. And what I'd like to do is have people thank this part of yourself, you know? Thank you for being willing to communicate with me. So go ahead and do that either out loud or in your head. Beautiful. So I'd like you to take a moment now and get in touch with these feelings of who am I to, provide this spiritual information. Like, who do I think I am? Where, if you scan your body, where do you feel that? Maybe you're getting a picture, a feeling, maybe a scene. Just tell me what you experience.
I definitely feel it in my shoulders. Like I feel tense and heavy, and also a bit in my lower back. It also feels very, very heavy energy, if that makes sense.
Yes, totally. And I can only imagine this feeling existing there because, I'm just noticing that the shoulders is where we hold our responsibility, and our lower back, it almost feels like you're trying to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. Does that resonate with you?
Yes.
Wow, yeah. So I'd like you to thank this part of yourself for showing you where this energy exists, where these blockages are. And let's start with your shoulders. Just take a deep breath and breathe and relax. And if you could give this part of your body a voice, what would it say?
It's heavy.
It's heavy.
Tired.
Anything else?
Too much.
And go ahead and thank this part of yourself for communicating so clearly to you. And ask this part of your body, what do you need?
Rest.
Mm.
Play.
Mm-hmm. Anything else?
Relax.
Beautiful. So let's take a moment now to just kind of use our imagination, and let's say you had a day on Earth where time stood still. No work, no job, no spiritual daily, not even a Navee Mendoza. You are just you as your human self. What would it look like for you to rest? What would you be doing? Where would you be going? Just tell me whatever comes up as you tap into this energy of rest.
I would be in nature, a sunny day, next to water and some woods, just laying down, looking at the sky, listening to the water.
Just take a moment to really sit with those feelings. Sitting in nature, seeing the water, seeing the woods, the sunny day. Look down at your feet. What are you wearing on your feet?
Nothing.
Beautiful, I love it. Can you smell any smells?
I smell wood.
Mm, very nice. I'd like you to, while you're in this space, look to your left and call upon your animal spirit guide. And just tell me the first animal that pops into your head.
A deer.
Beautiful. And look into its eyes. Do you trust this being?
Yeah.
Very nice. And can you get a sense if it's a male or a female?
No.
That's okay. I'd like you to ask your dear spirit guide to take you to a place where you can play, somewhere where you can rest and relax and really get in touch with your inner child. And tell me what the deer does and where it leads you.
Lead me into the woods. There's a path. And there's a clearing. I'm standing in the clearing.
And how do you feel in the space?
Safe.
Mm. And if you could do anything that's playful in this space, remembering that all time is stopped, this is your own special space, what would you do for fun?
Yoga.
Beautiful.
I see a red ball, playing around with it, sitting down. I have my yoga trapeze.
Mhm.
And I just see myself just laying down, staring at the trees, watching them move in the wind, and
Beautiful.
just listening.
Just feel as you relax into this feeling. Feel that heaviness and that tiredness and that feeling of too much just dissipate and dissolve as you breathe. You take a moment to really feel these emotions of rest and relaxation and feeling playful. Just let that feeling come into your heart now in this moment in the room that you're in, and just let it in. Take a deep breath and breathe it all in. Very nice. And let's just go ahead and come back to this now, leaving that scene behind and tuning into the energy of your shoulders. How are you feeling in your shoulders?
Loose.
Mm-hmm.
um,
And how about your lower back? How's your lower back feeling?
Feels like I can breathe a little easier.
Mm-hmm.
Not as heavy, not as tight.
Mm, beautiful. And now I'd just like you to continue to take some nice deep breaths and just get in touch with that part of yourself again that feels like, who am I? Who do I think I am? The part of yourself that's nervous about stepping into your leadership role. And just ask this part of yourself to show you where it first originated, where it first began to pick up on these beliefs about your life. Just tell me what you experienced.
Elementary school.
Mm-hmm. And would you like to speak about that?
I was always the weird kid, didn't really fit in anywhere.
Mhm.
I didn't understand the kids around me.
Mm.
Had trouble connecting.
And from this current space that you are now, at this day, can you send that energy of understanding and just really seeing this little girl in elementary school that was misunderstood and just sending her that love, just knowing that you're special and unique in your own right and you have gifts and contributions and you're loved, just sending all those feelings of love and gratitude to yourself back then. And how, what are you experiencing now?
Release,
Mhm.
self-love,
Mhm.
compassion,
Mhm.
understanding,
And what? Oh, understanding?
understanding.
Okay.
Yeah.
And ask this part of yourself now, what do you need, what does Navee today in 2019, moving forward, need to do to stay in touch with these feelings of understanding, of compassion?
Self-love and balance.
Mm. And what comes to mind when you think of self-love and balance? What action steps? What does that look like?
Prioritizing myself
Mm.
and my energy,
Mm-hmm.
making sure my energy feels balanced.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
More meditation, more yoga.
Mm-hmm. Very nice. It sounds like you're getting in touch with what your inner world needs from you. You know, getting that balance, having that time to yourself, that quiet. And consciously, Navi, what changes would you like to make to your beliefs of who am I to, to shine? Who do I think I am? What empowering beliefs would you like to take on moving forward?
I'm worthy.
Mm-hmm.
I am a good leader.
Mm-hmm.
I am understanding and compassionate. I am vulnerable
Mm-hmm.
and accepting of myself.
Beautiful. And just funny you say that. I almost feel like you hear these things from other people all the time. Is this, am I picking up on that correctly?
Yes,
Hmm. But it's different when you say it to yourself, right? So
yes.
go ahead and say that to yourself again. Really feel that. I am worthy. I'm a good leader. I'm fucking understanding and compassionate. I'm vulnerable. I'm accepting myself. Just either out loud in your head, feel it in your heart.
I'm worthy. I'm accepting of myself. I'm compassionate. I'm worthy. I'm understanding. I'm accepting of myself.
Beautiful. And how do you feel now?
So good.
I'm so glad to hear that, because you are good. You're amazing. You are such a bright light, and I'm so excited to see what else that little noggin of yours comes to create in the future. Awesome. Well, let's just take a moment to ground. So much energy, so much releasing, so much new energy of empowerment, and just taking those feelings, just seeing yourself having these roots grounding down into Mother Earth, feeling gratitude for the work that you've done today, feeling proud of yourself. Just let me know when you feel like you're ready to continue.
Right.
Beautiful. Well, that was a process. You did an amazing job. Thank you so much for being vulnerable.
Thank you so much for allowing me to experience this. That was beautiful. That was great.
I'm so glad, and I just want to say thank you for allowing yourself to do that, because as you know, this would not be possible if you didn't allow yourself at some level to receive. And like I said, I'm just so excited for you, so proud of you, and I'm speechless, honestly.
So am I. I just feel so good right now. Like I feel very refreshed. I feel like almost like I took a shower, but I didn't take a shower. I was sitting here on the phone with you, but I feel very light, and I just feel like I gained some very good insight on myself and on what I really need, because you can't pour from an empty cup, and I think that self-care is something that we all need to learn more of, especially in we're born into a society that tells you need to work all the time, and
yes,
a lot of different things, but self-care and self-love isn't usually at the top of that of the priority list, and seeing that from a different perspective, it really gave me a different view on it. And I don't know, my energy just feels like it's almost like it wasn't just me that saw it was also my energy that saw it, if that makes sense. And
yes.
I think that's where the completely different understanding came from. So thank you so much for that. Thank you.
My pleasure. And just to speak on that shower part, it's like you showered yourself in so much love, and you just scrubbed all those places within you that needed it. And just remember that that inner world and your dear guide and your forest and that opening, it's all within you, and you can tap into that anytime, any day, anywhere. And it's just don't forget that.
I won't. I definitely won't.
All right, y'all. Well, that was the process. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode. Navee and I are going to hop onto a little post talk and do our thing. But if there's anything else you'd like to add, Navee?
Just thank you so much for having me on here, and thank you for everything that you're doing to contribute to the shift that the world is going through right now. Shift consciousness as a whole is going through, and just to all the people listening, thank you for listening, and I hope I pray that you have the courage to listen to that inner guidance and inner intuition, and have faith.
Beautiful. All right, you guys, well, go ahead and stop what you're doing. Stop, drop, and roll over to Facebook and follow Spiritual Daily. You're not going to regret it. Very dope memes posted there on the regs. All right, you guys, you have a beautiful one. Happy full moon, and we will catch you next time. Peace.